What's up, G.I. Joe fans? Welcome back to the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. I'll be your curator today. Guys, we have another fun G.I. Joe carded figure for you today. Another awesome offering here at the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. Guys, this is from, I believe it's from 1998. No, this is 97. 1997. We'll get a definite year. I believe it's 97. Guys, I'm getting old. I'm getting old. I've had these figures for so long now that it's hard keeping up with all of these guys. This is another one from the late 1990s assorted carded figure collection that Hasbro was putting out. This is our U.S. Navy Serviceman. This was one of the first, I believe the first or second figures that I obtained and purchased from this assortment. I saw this one, and as plain as this Navy Serviceman G.I. Joe looks, that's what drew me to him. Just everything about it was so clean cut. The figure was beautifully done. This was the newer head sculpt for that time period. There's his hat, shirt. Everything was clean, beautifully made. So these figures didn't come with a lot. Here's the jeans. They didn't come with a lot of accessories, but he's got an M16 in his hands. He's holding an M16. That's all you really need. Guys, if you're just joining us, we're doing some awesome carded G.I. Joe carded figure reviews today on this awesome Friday here at the museum. We're just hanging out. I had some coffee earlier, so let's come back to the museum and do some more reviews. See, he's got two pockets here. He's got his boots on. The unique styling of the card was another thing that really endeared me to this figure. Hasbro just did a great job, and these cards are heavy. They're made out of good cardboard stock, so they're not flimsy. And as you can see, these cards stood the test of time. Now we have pampered and babied these figures for the last 20 plus years. So, but these cards are in fantastic condition. The bubbles are these. We keep these figures in plastic containers, big plastic containers, airtight. And I say that, and you can still see a tad bit. We didn't have to wipe him off a lot, but there is a little bit of dust on him, but not a lot. So I seldom open those plastic containers. We will check the containers and the figures just to, I'd say every 4 to 5 months, just to make sure that the figure is not damaged or anything. He's not in there by himself, so you know he's in there with anywhere between 7 or 8 to maybe 10 more figures. So we're constantly checking our carded figures. They're very delicate. Guys, what do you think of our G.I. Joe U.S. Navy Serviceman? Do you remember this figure? Do you have this figure? This figure, once again, retailed around somewhere around $16.99 to $20 to $19.99, somewhere around there. Easy on the pocket. You didn't have to spend $30 to $40 to $50 on this G.I. Joe. And for a lot of collectors back then that were doing dioramas and things of that nature and custom jobs, this was an easy way, inexpensive way to buy a good quality G.I. Joe figure, because the figure was made out of good quality material. So you're going to get a great G.I. Joe every time out. So a lot of customizers were just buying these guys as custom jobs. You can't notice it, and if I didn't say anything, you would never know. The head sculpt on this figure, along with the other 3 figures that came in this assortment, are slightly smaller than what Hasbro wanted them to be. So we call them, these guys, the small head G.I. Joes, because they were slightly smaller. So Hasbro realized the mistake, or the error, I should say, and you know, stopped production and restarted production on these figures when they changed out the head sculpt. So it's a smaller head sculpt on this G.I. Joe. But like I said, you would never know if I didn't share that information with you. Some die-hard G.I. Joe collectors, enthusiasts know all about that, but you know, I just kept my the Joes that I purchased. I never bought another one. And here's that assortment we're talking about. We'll get you a year. Let's get you a year. You said 97? There you go. Yeah, it was. I was right. 1997. Some back history on the U.S. Navy Serviceman. You want to pause your video for some good reading. Be my guest. It's awesome. This is why I could never bring myself to destroy these beautiful cards. There's some collectors that will take them off the cards and keep the cards, you know. But for me, it's easier just to keep everything intact, because I'm just ridiculous like that. I'm a M.I.B. collector, so it's fantastic. I don't know if we did the USMC boot camp figure. I would have to check. There's our U.S. Navy Serviceman figure. I believe this is our National Guard. Yeah, Army National Guard. We did one on the National Guard. I love all of my National Guard figures. Now, you can see in 1997, the card didn't come, and this is by Kenner. This is when Kenner was still making these figures. You can see that they don't have the advertisement for the extra assortments, and maybe that had a lot to do with the fact they didn't have them out readily available at that time. Just my professional guess there, guys. I said, we just, you know, I love my G.I. Joe collection. Like I said, we have over 24 to 25 toy lines here at our museum. And we're adding more. But our foundation is our G.I. Joe collection. It's massive. And we just love it to death. You can see he comes with the old classic collection hands. This is on a classic collection body. So this is before we got the good shot there. This is before Hasbro gave us the super articulate body with the muscular body. And that's another cool thing about just the evolution of G.I. Joe and how far he has come. This was an exciting time to be a G.I. Joe collector when these beautiful figures were coming out. Just a super exciting time. Here's just a closer look at that M16. We just want to share this guy with you today. We have more G.I. Joes on the way, more action figures on the way for you, for videos, reviews, more fun. You know the routine, guys. God bless, and keep collecting.